There's a new Final Destination movie out. I've already visited Final Destination on this channel. If I remember, it was a very early video. If I did it at all, I can't remember. So we're revisiting Final Destination. I have all 5 of the movies here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I may rank them in terms of which ones I like the best. Clearly and obviously, the first one to me is the best. It's the most rewatchable one. It's the one I go to when I think about Final Destination. It's this movie, the Devon Sawa-fronted, helmed movie. Stellar cast, Parks and Rec dude, Kerr Smith, Ali Larter, she is fantastic in this. There's a lot of actors in here that you've probably seen before, and this is back before they were huge, major, mega awesome, though Devon was pretty big even back then. He's still pretty big now, he's just not as big as he used to be, and he should be as big as he used to be, because Devon Sawa is fantastic. He should be in more horror movies. The second movie I don't think is as good as the first or the third movie. The third movie I think is the second best in the series. It's just for how enjoyable it is. The second movie feels like the first movie, but in reverse, and that's exactly how it was. The order of the way people died was flipped over, and then we have an interesting deaths, we have interesting characters, but nothing that really stood out to me. Nothing that really intrigued me as much. You had a new mystery with Final Destination 3 with an interesting group of characters, and of course I liked the main cast lady. She was fantastic. I keep forgetting her name. I think her Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Is that it? She was in Death Proof and a couple other movies. She's very good in this. And the other characters, the other actors in here are very good, the side characters. It's a little bit more removed from Final Destination 2. Final Destination 2 is a sequel in the same storyline. The only glimpse you see of the previous 2 films is a newspaper clipping in a deleted scene that the 2 characters that survived in this one died. That's all you get. Otherwise, this movie is completely on its own, and I liked that about that. This movie is very entertaining and enjoyable. And it was also the first one I saw in this series, so naturally, I'm going to be thinking of Final Destination 3 more than 2 and the rest of them. 4 is entertaining in a few ways. It has 2 characters that I really like. I can't remember their names. One of the dudes, I think his name is Hunt, in this movie, he's on a sitcom. He was on a sitcom that I used to watch all the time on Teen Nick. Hey, you remember that channel, that spin-off channel, Teen Nick? I forget her. I remember Amanda Bynes. After she did the Amanda Show, she grew up a little bit, and I think in her like 20s or late teens, into her 20s, she did a show. Holly, I think her name is Holly. I can't remember off of the top of my head, but he's in that, she's in that, and it's an interesting little sitcom. It was a fun little sitcom. I remember watching it all the time. I just forget everybody's names, and I forgot the name of the show because I'm just terrible with names. I'm just terrible with names. But he was in that, and I remembered him from that. I haven't seen him in anything else other than Final Destination 4 and that sitcom, the Amanda Bynes. They were dating in the sitcom, that the guy and Amanda Bynes. But it's fun. It's a fun time. It's just not that innovative. It's got the race car. It's got the racetrack thing. The deaths in that. But other than that, it just doesn't really stand out. 5 is probably the weakest in my opinion. I do like that it brings it full circle, in that 5 is actually a prequel to the first movie, because at the end of 5 you see that the characters that survived are on the plane, Flight 180, where Devon Sawa's character and everybody else were having their fit and leaving the plane, and then the 2 characters were like, I wonder what that was about, and then they realized, oh crap, the plane's gonna crash, isn't it? But it's too late now, and then and then they hadn't made another one since. So Bloodlines is the 6th one. There was no sixth one in between 5 and 2025. That's a pretty big gap. I think this is like, what, 2011, 2012? Well, let me see. 2011, I was right. Wow, that's a long time ago. 14 years ago. That's crazy. I thought it would have been a little bit earlier, newer than that. But it's been 14 years. Wow, crazy, huh? Crazy how time flies. But, yeah, we should have had at least 2 or 3 more Final Destinations by now, but I guess they needed to let the franchise sleep for a little while, like they let Saw sleep, so that they could come up with some new ideas, just enough for the franchise to get nostalgic. And, yeah, the show is, the franchise is nostalgic now. It's been 14 years, and everybody who watched it back then are 14 years older. They're crustier, they're curmudgeonier, they're nostalgic for their old younger years. So naturally, yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines, perfect time to bring that out. We'll talk about that one next. But in regards to, like, the formula, it's very formulaic. Story-wise, it's very formulaic. One person gets a premonition and convinces a bunch of people to avoid a catastrophe, and then death starts stalking them, killing them one by one in crazy mousetrap contraptions where you get to watch the death scenes and how everything was like each little segment's like a mousetrap. You remember the board game Mousetrap and how the marble went through all these little topsy-turvy thingamajiggies until finally capturing the mouse? Yeah, basically like that. You get to watch a big series of things happening until a character dies or until the character figures out that something's happening and then they kind of save themselves or somebody else saves them. It's fun, it's fine, but I wouldn't recommend watching all 6 movies in a row. Maybe watch the first one and then watch the new one. That's really all you really need to do. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to watch the first one, maybe. Or maybe I'll just skip it and go right to the 6th one, because I already remember everything that happens in Final Destination. But if you haven't watched any of these movies before, and you're going to watch the 6th one, and you're wondering if you need to watch all 5, nah, you don't really need to. Nah, you just really need to watch the first one. Maybe, at most, the first 2. But after that, nah, you don't really need to watch the rest of them. The rest of them are fun movies, even though 3 is my second favorite. You could skip 3, 4, even 5, and nothing's going to change for you. You can even skip 2, and nothing's going to change for you. But you might as well watch all 5 of them if you're a big fan. If you watch Final Destination and you're a huge fan, you really want to know more, then watch 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Even though 5 is a prequel to 1, watch 5 in the 5th slot, just so you can know that it's the cycle. That's how it should have been. You watch the first one, you watch the next one, then you watch this one, and it leads into the first one, then you can watch the first one again, and then go back in circles, and that's how we did it back then. And now we can't do that anymore, because Final Destination 6... I don't know if it's before 5, after 5, but before 1, or after 2, but before 3, or after 3, but before 4. Who knows where it is? It might be after 4. For all I know, I'll find out when I finally watch it. Either way, the Final Destination movies are great. I don't know if I've grown out of them or not. I still find them very entertaining, but 4 and 5 are definitely the bottom-most ones for me. I generally tend to wonder why I get around to them, why I watch them. Their deaths aren't as interesting as they used to be. The music in 1 and 3 are the best. The opening log scene, though, is fantastic. The death scenes in this are pretty fun, a couple of them at least. But after a while, they kind of just don't get as interesting. So I hope 6 is interesting.